let's start. Having a little movement in the morning. You can tell me if you see me. Yes, find yourself just standing. Acknowledging, observing. Can you hear me well? Just that I see thumbs up. Okay, good, great. I forgot my ear thing, but I hope it's fine for the online, for the distance. So start standing and very simple. So let's start very simple of walking and falling from one foot to the other. Yeah. Easy. It feels like two sides, no, one leg and the other leg. It's also morning. The body is mostly quite compact in the morning, and during the day, through the movement, we try to find more and more elements, more and more elements that talk to each other. So very simple, falling from one side to the other. We call it walking, we call it walk falling. Yeah, so walking and falling. And each time you make a step, you can fall even more down. You can allow that more and more parts are being invited. There. Ankles, knees, hips, spine, vertebra. So we focus on falling, but we can also travel with our imagination, with our attention. Imagination, attention, they are two friends. Through different parts of the body, you know, like I said, the joints of the foot, ankle, knees, the joints of the leg, and joints are also a physical place of connection. So we are talking to something that is very kind of obvious that we know. At first, the vertebrae and the joints in between them, the spaces in between them, inviting them, talking to each other and falling. Leaning one on top of the other. And the breath. So you can invite, one thing is falling, one thing is walk falling, and the other is to invite the movement from the top, from breath. So you can open your mouth wide and emphasize, stimulate this entry from the breath, from the air into the body. Opening space, widening space, and creating a space for that the elements, the body parts, they start to better talk to each other. And observe. So we bring some action, but we also observe a resonance and echo of it. So Widening attention, widening imagination, widening the physical action. Yeah. Breathing, smiling. The eyes, they can wander around without a specific thing, a task, just allowing to easy observe, notice, and invite also the head to join. Feet walking, falling, and head divides wandering around. And all the space in between is become more and more light. Light in a sense of bigger, more spacious, but also in a way heavy with the connection to the gravity, through the connection to the gravity. And find now the step in between the steps. So invite the simple falling from one side to the other. Be a little bit more playful, let's say. Yeah. So, what does it mean? Falling from different parts of the foot, inviting the back, the heels, the toes. They might fall today differently. The side. And sending the breath more and more down to the center of the earth. Yeah, saying hi. And even more and louder, hi, hi, hi. Bringing some voice. So, walking in your own space. Like not only about the room, but what is your space today? So how do you meet it today? How do you meet your ground today? And start to talk to it through the physical action, but also invite the voice. So talk to it through sounds. Yeah. Provoke. And observe how one by one it's become more and more excited. No? So we bring also this excitement of participation. Shoulder blades. For example, I started to feel excitement in my shoulder blades. They want to talk to each other. Yeah. The ears, they want to talk with the shoulder blades. From the front and from the back. Yeah. Soften the jaw. And what we want to do, we want to bring in a shortened time a lot of information. So we want to make an awareness to many things, many movements that happen in the body, that happen through the connection. For that, we can let it go, and they will come back to us by itself. So this is So we want to talk to as many things as possible, but with the calmness, with easiness, with a smile. So bring the smile on the side of your mouth, falling. Bring the smile to the other side. Bring the smile to the back of the throat. Bring the smile between the shoulder blades. Bring the smile into the vertebrae. And you can take your fingers and intuitively allow your fingers to travel, to bring the light in the body. Travel on the places you want to bring more lightness in, more movement. And they are gently leaning. So gently, it's not yet, it's not manipulating, it's more drilling. And let them travel now more in a more intuitive way, looking for places that needs attention, or they're more called for attention. While feet are constantly falling, walking, inviting the other parts to join this game, this play of falling down. So bringing through this, you can bring different ways of hugging yourself, hugging. Walking down the legs, following, and bring now a little bit more awareness. So bringing a little bit more life into the fingers, so they can start to play like with an instrument, with the surface of the body. So little bit more provocation or statements, but statements that doesn't finish. It's a question. So bring the questions. Down the legs. Talking to your toes. And in the sacrum, this is the place where the naxoid or the tensions, they very often make parties that we don't want. So we start to talk to the things that are called like asleep. Yes. And they don't have to work together, no? So allow your fingers to walk different areas. So they can, one can be under the armpit, the other can be under the knee. Yeah. Traveling, connecting through the skin to the inside. Yeah. While falling down, while being invited and inviting yourself and taking an invitation from the ground. Yeah? So we are really falling while letting the fingers to play. Well, talking to the skin. Sending smiles. Can you send the smiles from your fingers to the body? How is it your smile then? Can you start to tickle? Like a tickling. Tickling. Yes. And just let it play a little bit more randomly, no? So it doesn't have to have an order. Like fingers, yes. Great. And take this randomness, more playfulness into the hands, that they can start to wiggle around, front and back. What's happened with the ears? Yes. That multitude of falling become bigger. So let your heads inform the rest of the body. Inform your spine. Inform your shoulder blades. Inform your smile. Inform your legs and all the space in between the knees and the ankles and feet. And on top of it, you bring also the big smile. While your hands are wiggling around, easy. Yeah. Great. And bring there, from this wiggling, a little jumps. So the shoulders, they can start to play with each other, jumping up, front and back, down, standing. So we can play with ascending the shoulder blades, from sending the shoulder on the not the shoulder blade, but the arm, the shoulder, the upper part of the shoulder, and the hand is following. The other body, the other rest of the body is echoing. Yeah. And bring this action from one shoulder to the other. Yeah? So they can change roles. Jumping front, jumping back. And can you bring there a little bit more of falling? So I am falling down, I am falling up, falling backwards. So I'm not bringing the shoulder, but I'm falling. And what happened with the rest of the body? Goes opposite. So let's play with these opposite directions. Yes, falling of the shoulder and falling of the other body in the opposite. And what if the shoulder fall away from the body? What's happened with the ears? And let them play. So falling from one shoulder to the other, front, back. Yeah, so let them play in between each other, though also playing with an individual action. So they can play with the ears, they can play with the toes. Let them play with the rest of the body too. And speeding it up so you don't think about an action, but just let it to echo. And bring this conversation of shoulder blades to the rest of the body. And send it down. Doubling at the same time, dropping everything that is not needed. So any tension that you notice, you just drop. So tapping into something that is already happening. Like water. Bring the wisdom of water here. Waterfalls. So the body is more moved now than I am moving my body. Yeah. Bring in excitement, smile, refreshment, and double it even more. Side. So bringing also falling from one side to the other while falling, vibrating. And you can start walking around yourself. Yes. One direction. And the other. And slow down. Simple. So now your body knows about the complex. And what is a simple now? Just hold. 1, 2, 2. How many hidden or not so visible, but still very awake and alive directions are already present there? Ways of talking, ways of beginning, communicating. And I will click to my fingers and we can start to drill again with a double speed. Okay? So, and go. Fast. And now really allow it to play, to invite you whole, and invite the whole space around you to join. Everybody wants to be part, something that is leading. I start to feel goosebumps on my whole skin. And bring this excitement when we are going now towards the ground. Falling to the ground, walking. No stop of the movement. Yes. And let's start first with sitting. So we are sitting, we can see each other. And just see what is this, how this, what we have built in the verticality is resonating here. So the body still wants to move. Leaning to the hands. Heels talking to the ground. Ears falling, talking to the shoulder blades. Different structure, constellation, though the same communication happening. And breathing. And calm a little bit down, but still have this sensation of possible movements inside that can manifest out, just very silently. And bring the falling, the walking, falling from side to the other. How the pelvis Can roll. Easy. And silently, for that, we don't see movement. You can sense the movement and just start to play with one foot, sending it away. So we can send away one foot and then bring it back. There. And away. And back. And away. So even longer. How the spine is being invited. And the back. And the back. And the back. And the back. Yeah. So play with this idea into your own rhythm and finding different stationary points. Yes, lengthening, shortening. And directly start with the other leg. So no stop and pause in between. Shortening, long lengthening. And lengthening even more, and shortening. And these jumps are not for that to bring the muscle work in between. It's an impulse. The whole pathway is relaxed. We talk to the structure more now than to the muscles, so they can rest. They need to rest sometimes. Okay. And play with the both. Yeah, shortening one leg, the other. Yeah, exactly. And the hands going backwards while the legs are playing, and go to the laying position. Yeah, so you can lie on the ground and play, continue playing with the legs, sharpening one, lengthening. Yeah. And roll to your side. So roll to your side. Find yourself, hugging yourself, embracing, resting, giving a moment of pause. Being hugged by the earth and hugging the earth, hugging yourself. And what you can drop here, what can fall off from here in this moment of just simple rest, simple pause. Melting, allowing this moment of melting the borders. And roll to the other side. Hug yourself. Meet yourself. And hug yourself even more. And roll to the other side. And just come directly to this place of meeting the earth. And roll to the other side. So the rolling can happen in no time. There is no preparation. Yes, rolling. And let the head be invited. So the head is rolling. You can start from the knee, from the head. Yeah. And just play for a moment, rolling from one side to the other. Yeah. And find yourself again laying on the back. And start lengthening one leg, shortening. Playful. The other one. So, yeah. And add there also rotation of the leg. So toes are falling in and out. You can separate just for now. Let's do this. So we fall from the toes in and out. Just what happened with the hip joints, what happened with the vertebrae. Yeah. How the head is responding. How the head is enjoying this. Yeah. One part of the toes, collection of the toes invite the other one, and they start to talk to each other. Out in, the breath is there, traveling. Yeah, and bring your palms, the elbows on the ground, the palms are facing the ceiling. Relax wrists. And invite your elbows to lean and fall into the ground while your toes are falling in and out, and the heels doing the same as elbows, talking to the earth. Yes. What happened? How the watery body in between is joining the game. Yes, joining this play of spirals, waves. And bring the lengthening. So bring also the lengthening of one leg, shortening the other, means bringing the heel more towards the sitting bone. Yeah. And everything we do, it's playful. So observe what makes you effort and how can you drop it. It's an own discovery, it's an own conversation with some tools. Voilà. And pause for a moment so you can lie on the side again or lie on the back. Just observe. Rest. Observe, use this to observe the echo of pulse. What is resonating? What is moving? And bring the aliveness in your right fingers, and just allow the fingers to play on the floor on your right side. So they play in a sense, they walk away from you, they come towards the body. And they can also flip. So the fingers can walk, but the hand they can also flip up and down. And let the head to travel down also towards the body, traveling hand up. And how the heels can be invited by this. They start to want to join this game also. And the hand is going towards the body, away from the body, and traveling down and up. Until it wants to join across the body and join the other side. So it wants to join the other hand. Making a big, big, big circle. Yes. And again, big circle. Yes. Yeah. So, and give it a rest. And find the same in the other, the right arm. Fingers. Starting to talk to the ground. Going away from the body, towards the body. What happens with the ears? With the spine, with the vertebrae. Can you talk to the deeper parts of the floor from your fingers? Yeah. Yeah. And then the fingers get to start to talk down the leg, reaching even more towards the knee and going up the head, above the head. Yeah. Few times, lengthening, shortening, until it can also start to travel across the body, reaching to the other side, to the other hand. How the heels can help here. Yes. Reaching up, around. And the head can have own life, so it doesn't have to go the same direction. Yes. And let the hands join, so they can join the game. One reaching one direction, the other going to the other, and how the falling of the hips, the rotation of the legs, it can support, it can join. So let the action be not limited to one answer, right? There's many possibilities. Chin down, fingers alive, toes alive. And up there, lengthening and shortening of the legs. Means the legs, they can bend in the knee. And that creates a possibility for us to go from one side to the other, from the fingers. Good. And speeding it up. Just speeding it up. Bring the craziness there, the aliveness, by dropping an effort. Yes. Hovering. And bring the voice. So the voice is the motor of the movement. The sound. Yeah. Breath. So and change directions. Yes. One direction, the other direction. Play with the hands and the legs. The spine is following, echoing, waving, watering. Until you can find yourself in a sitting position. If it's happening, it's great. If it's not, just search for it. Check. Intuitively falling from one side to the other and playing the fingers, hovering, speeding it up. Check. And let it to play with you now. So now you can really explore falling from the side, going to the sitting, going to the belly. Let your body to explore the space around through the fingers, toes. Yes. And falling from place to place, from one to the other in a bigger scale. And farther and farther and farther. cha, cha, cha. And we all end up in standing again. Yeah. Hands are still playing around. Yes, hovering around, exploring the stage. The feet falling, reaching far, far, far into the center of the earth. Free shoulder blades. Free spine. And bring it out. So bring everything out that you don't need to. Just send it out, 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 out. Yeah. And from the head, from the down, don't ignore, don't forget any direction. Behind, front, side. And let the hands to be independent. They are not together anymore. Each own has own idea, own color, own breath, own life. The same with the legs. And calming it down, calming it down. Let them float around, cleaning the space, cleaning the space, letting the dust to sweep away, sweeping the dust. Wow. And being for a moment with this resonance of the things, observing, wow, what a cleaning. And falling from one leg to the other. Wow. And we can now fall also a bit back, opening the front body. Falling front, opening the back body. Falling side, opening the side. Breathing. Free. Like a grass. And let's do whenever I click. So we back to the energy. So we just bring back the alignment, directions, and all possible fallings. Okay? So just one more time. And go back there to the fullness. There is even more full because there was a place of rest, and how full it can be. All is talking to each other. And and the feet flat in the body. Front, back, leaning, limbs, one hand, leaning the other hand, all arms, all back, the head, front, behind the legs, out of the knees. And to the hold behind the legs, front, And let's bring again the spiral of the hands, cleaning the space around. Let them then float. So floating fingers. And let's bring these floating fingers also to each other. So we can float, we can clean each other's spaces. And send it, transform it to sending energy. Sending energy. And let this energy to come back to you. Sending, receiving, getting this all goodness. And 1, and 2, and 3. Shoo! Let it go. Shoo. Yeah, you can just stand or just be at the place where you are. Observe the resonance of the movement, resonance of the encounters, meetings. You can have closed eyes or open. Yeah. What is your breath? Where is your body? How you feel your body? How you feel your foot? How you feel the gravity? Yeah. Okay, and thank you so much. That was the class. Wow, it's 53. It's a bit longer, but I hope it's good.
Oh, thank you, Kasia. It's a good moment to introduce Kasia.
Yeah, that's great. Always after, it's great. Can you do it? I don't know how to do it.
Of course, I can introduce Kasia, that Brzezinska, that is an ILM practitioner, but she's also a choreographer and a dancer, and she's also a very kind person, and very surprising, and also very loving in her unique, very special way. And she's gonna support the basic course that is coming in February. And this is a premiere of the whole series that we are opening actually today, so it's a real celebration. And actually, while we were moving, I realized that in December, on the 6th of December, it's gonna be 8 years since we are organizing this training in Poland. And I thought, wow, it's a celebration of the celebration. It's like we did this series, but we are also having a anniversary. This is how it's called, anniversary. So I had this feeling of a big yeah, opening or many things.